Welcome and well met, all my fellow adventurers. Thank you for joining me here today as we turn our attention towards the next upcoming patch of 6.3. Now, we don't have the official release date just yet, but we do know that the next letter from the producer is going to be coming out in a few days, this upcoming Friday. And usually how they do this is that the patch trailer, which I'm sure is also going to be released during that time, is released 2 weeks before the actual patch. So by calculating, it should be about January 10th. So that's my guess to the actual release date for 6.3. Anyway, the important thing to try and figure out what to do for the remaining few weeks, give or take, is what we're going to do to pass the time. With the holidays almost here, I do think that we have a lot to really look forward to and take care of in the real world, but what about the little bit of downtime that we have? Just what can we do in the world of Final Fantasy XIV while we wait for the next patch? So that's what this video is all about. This is a video of suggestions on what to do within the world of Eorzea to keep you occupied until the next patch. Let it be noted though that none of the things that I'm about to list here are things that I feel that you have to do. These are more along the lines of suggestions if you're looking for something to keep you entertained until the next patch, which is going to be a big one. Also, if you feel that you are becoming burnt out from playing this game and you need to take a break until the next patch is released, then by all means go ahead and do so. As I'm sure you could tell by now, I really love this game, but even I like to take breaks from time to time, and I have lessened my game time to really 1 or 2 days a week at this point, and thinking about taking the entire week leading up to 6.3 off just because. While I did enjoy 6.2, I kind of got a bit burnt out by the time that the patch was released, so maybe it wasn't as fun for me as I was expecting. So again, if you have to take a break, go ahead. Go on a trip, spend time with your friends, play other games if you want. We'll be right here waiting for you when you're ready to return. Moving on though, here is a list of things that if you're looking to do that doesn't involve maybe weapon or mount farming, the Moogle Tomestone event, job leveling, or tribal quest achievements, so please enjoy. Alright, like I said, nothing on this list are things that I feel that you have to do, save for maybe this one, and that is the Starlight Celebration event. This is a holiday-themed event that comes to Eorzea every year, and if you haven't done it yet, then I kind of suggest that you do because it is a limited time event that will only be around for another week. It's an adorable quest that you can get done in less than half an hour, and it has a really cool reindeer mount this year. So if you miss out on it, then unfortunately you'll have to wait until next year to order it from the Mog Station, so please go ahead and at least do that. Otherwise, let's move on. First off, while it's not something that is required to do, I do suggest at least looking into it, and that is Crystalline Conflict. This is a part of PvP where you face off with other players in groups of 5, in a system where you're able to level up and earn certain trophies for exchange at the Wolf's Den, but it also includes a series of very special rewards depending on your level. At the start of each new major patch release, we do start new seasons with new prizes, so this particular season's Crystalline Conflict rewards are going to end with the release of 6.3. For now though, you have a chance to earn some more cool effects for your portraits, including 2 minions and even a mount. If you want to earn all of the rewards here, all you need to do is level up to level 25. To level up here really isn't too bad, for you just need to run some rounds of Crystalline Conflict, which are over in less than 10 minutes. And you earn points whether you win or lose. You don't have to rush through all the levels right away, unless you are watching this video before maintenance, in which case you are pretty much screwed. But you can easily earn 1 or 2 level ups a day. Again, not something that you have to do, but something to keep you busy if you don't want to miss out on the rewards this time. Moving on, next up is the list of things that we already know about for 6.3. What I recommend doing is some of the side content. The main scenario quest is always a major thing that should be done before release because you can't unlock most of the content without at least doing that first. But there are plenty of side content that you should look into before 6.3, such as Myths of a Realm, Eureka, and the Palace of the Dead. Starting off with the raid, I would suggest doing Myths of a Realm if you haven't done it yet. In my opinion, so far the story is pretty interesting, and the fights against the first 4 of the 12, they're super fun. Part 2 of the raid will be coming out with this patch, as well as 4 new gods, which seem to be the gods Halone, Nofika, Minfina, and Altic. Not 100% confirmed yet, but that's what I'm betting on. Part of the fun part of the new raids is diving straight in with 23 other players who have no idea what they're doing either. It's really a highlight for a lot of players to experience the sheer insanity of a brand new raid, and no one has any idea how any of the mechanics work. Not only that, but the gear that we can win for the first raid is likely going to be pretty easy to roll for, and they look amazing for future glamours. And earning the weekly tokens from doing these raids is important to unlock materials to improve future gear as well. Another side content I would recommend doing is both Eureka and the Palace of the Dead. I suggest these two because we are going to be getting a new deep dungeon. This is going to be the first deep dungeon that we'll be getting since Stormblood, and already expectations are high. This one is going to be known as Eureka Orthos. And so I suspect that it may tie into the story around Eureka. We don't know for sure yet. But Eureka is a vast open world dungeon where players can travel to. I suggest at least unlocking Eureka and maybe playing through at least the storyline, even though I know that's not required. As for Palace of the Dead, unfortunately it is a requirement to be able to unlock the newest deep dungeon. So if you are new to deep dungeons, then the Palace of the Dead is not only a really good story, but after running through it, you will have a much better idea of how deep dungeons work. Next up, we have Island Sanctuary. Now this was something that a lot of people, myself included, were really looking forward to. In fact, I think I was looking forward to this maybe as much as the main scenario, which for me is a big thing because the main scenario is always the #1 thing I want to do when a new patch is coming out. If you haven't unlocked Island Sanctuary yet, or felt that after you got everything you wanted to purchase from the island, then now is a good time to start stockpiling your currency because it is going to be getting a few updates. Not only was it confirmed that we'll be getting new creatures to capture for our pasture, we're going to be probably getting more items for purchase from the mammoths. You still have plenty of time to really be working on growing plants and collecting from your animals to start saving for a decent amount of shells that you will be ready to trade out for a few new mounts, minions, etc. Plus, it can be pretty relaxing just to hang out on your island with your friends, if nothing else. Moving on to the next suggestion, and that's earning gil. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but with a new patch means new items such as minions, crafting material that you will want to purchase, so it's good to have a fair amount of money on hand. But also, there is going to be an update because every world is about to be getting a lot more districts for their housing. So yes, for every world, every city that we have, we're currently going to be having a lot more housing coming in, and if getting your own house is something that you've always wanted, this might be the best time to be able to do so. Even if you don't get the house though, you will still have a steady supply of gil that will be yours to spend as you see fit. If you're looking for ways to earn a lot of money in a short amount of time, I do have a couple tips, such as doing your daily roulettes. They do take up a lot of time, but they can earn up to 500 to 600k a week. And it's also a good way to level up jobs if you are trying to do so. Also, you can earn a fair amount by studying up on the market board and see what sells for and for how much, or simply by doing treasure hunts with your friends. And if you are lucky enough to earn some rewards from there, then they can easily sell for millions. Otherwise, there is the tried and true method of crafting and selling items with your retainers. Speaking of crafting, that is another good way to spend your time, especially if you are behind in leveling up your crafters. Crafting is going to be getting a lot this patch with a new custom delivery client, enhancing tools such as what we did for the Ishgardian restoration, and we are going to be having a new tribal quest in the form of the Loporrits, who will be dealing solely with crafters. So I recommend leveling up at least 1 or 2 crafters while we still have time for it if you haven't done it yet. And last but not least, though it has nothing to do with anything from the next patch, glamours. Come on, glamours are always fun. If you are like me and you like to hold on to a lot of different types of gear for future glamours, then you're probably close to filling up your glamour dresser already. Now I know, I have a bit of a problem, but please don't send help, I will not accept it. But joking aside, now is a good time to maybe look through your gear, get ready to throw out what you don't need anymore, and make room for the new gear that we are sure to get with the new raids and everything. Plus, if you want your Warrior of Light to go out saving the world, it's important that they look the part. Anyway, that there is my list of things to do to pass the time in Eorzea while we wait for 6.3. I get the feeling that this patch was supposed to come out this month, but with the holidays, it's very easily able to bring out a lot of stress in people, even if you don't have such a demanding job. And I think that Yoshi P does want the dev team to use this time to rest, relax, and spend time with their families so that they are refreshed for the new year and hopefully start off on a strong note. So I wish them all a very happy holidays this year, as I do for all of you watching this. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe down below for future videos, and I'll see you next time. Until then though, may you walk in the light of the crystal.